Hello, my name is Briscoe-Renaud. I am a holistic counselor and a life coach. And today I would like to talk about thoughts with a particular angle around the question, do we choose our thoughts? So we live in an era where we talk a lot about the power of the mind, meditation, how to harness our thoughts, or how to actually maybe let our thoughts pass like clouds in the sky. So there's a lot of discussion around what do we do with our thoughts. Yet a lot of us struggle. A lot of us struggle with our thoughts because we can't stop them, or we overthink things, we think in circles, we go into imaginary functioning when we imagine things and then realize, oh my God, I had completely invented what this person felt or thought. So I think it's really good to stop and ask ourselves the question, what exactly is my power over my thoughts? And I'm someone who can struggle with my thoughts. Sometimes I can think and overthink and I can't kind of stop it. The problem is that the way we think influences considerably the way we behave, the way we feel, the way we travel through life, basically. So it's really good to actually reflect on what is happening with our thoughts. Now, the bottom line is we do not choose the thoughts that pop in our mind, the first ones that come. And you know what? It's a really good thing because it's a sign that we are creative. Sometimes we come up with really weird thoughts, like we're in a situation where we think, why did I think that? But in a way, it's a sign that we're creative. And this is something that I've really learned to, an approach, an attitude I've learned to have. I used to be like, oh, I don't like this, I don't want to hear that thought. And now I'm like, well, it's surprising. It's maybe not the thought I like the best today, but it's just a sign that I'm being creative. And I think this positive approach towards our thoughts is a really important step. Rather than trying to fight them, to just embrace and accept and just let the thought pass. But if we do not choose what thoughts pop up in our mind, we do choose what we do with them. We choose if we entertain them on and on and on or not. So in that sense, we can choose our thoughts. We might not choose the first one that comes in, but then we can choose what we're going to think for the next 3 or 4 minutes or 1 hour. And every single time we have a chance to really decide from deep inside us, okay, there is a thought that came up here. I feel drawn towards thinking around that. I feel drawn towards entertaining it. Is this good for me? Is this truly constructive of me? Is it really going to serve me? If it is, fine. If it's not, then I do have the choice to move on. I run a little meetup group in Melbourne here in Australia, and it's about goal setting and supporting each other with our goals. And at the first meeting, I shared that my goal was to develop more positive thinking and particularly to be more positive in a specific relationship, where I did notice that I was regularly talking about negative things or being negative with this person. And interestingly enough, I can say really I've reached my goal, maybe not 100% of the time, but most of the time. And what I realized through the different work and exercise I did to reach this goal is that the bottom line is I still have a thought coming in. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't really like this, but I can choose. I can choose, okay, am I going to speak it out? Is it more important for me to speak it out? Or is it more important for me to have a really quality, life-giving relationship? And since I've realized that, I don't always, because sometimes it is important to speak it out, but I also sometimes, and most of the time, decide, you know what, actually the quality of the relationship is more important. So I am then choosing my thoughts and therefore my behavior, of course. But my point is, we sometimes feel a little bit powerless in front of those thoughts. Very often it's because we fight them. The first step is not to fight them, is to embrace them. And the second step is then to decide, what do I do with this thought? I'll let it pass, like cloud in the sky, or do I really stay with it and entertain it? And there we really have a power. This was Maud Briscoe-Renaud. Thank you very much for listening. Bye. This is a little add-on. I realized that I forgot to share something that was really important for me to share. If you are interested in the subject of thoughts, I highly, highly recommend this book. Somebody Should Have Told Us, Simple Truth for Living Well by Jack Pransky. It's a really, really good book, and it will give you many, many ways of entering the subject, but always with so much insight. It's an excellent book that can be read again and again and again, and it's a short book as well. It's not even 150 pages, so it's just very easy and quick to read. So I highly recommend that. All right, bye for now.